Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza and today is our podcast number 168. It is the 16th of July 2026 and I thought I'd come in and catch up with you on what I've been up to the last week since I last saw you and hopefully hear about what you've been up to down in the comments. I really do appreciate that each and every one of you has come to join me today. I just love hanging out with you guys, you know that. And the weeks go past so quickly, I cannot believe it. So I do have a few little things that I've started on this week. Some of them are, of course, amigurumi because my love continues. But I've really been in a blanket mood and I have started a new blanket. Now behind you, it's quite sparse at the moment because I have been talking about a craft room or yarn room makeover now for at least 6 months. But it's such an enormous, daunting task for me. So what I've started to do is actually take all my yarn out of here. And let me tell you, it has been quite surprising how much I fit in this room. It is a large room, I guess, but when I show you some photos in the near future or a little video of how much has come out, I think you'll be quite as surprised as I am. But it has been great because I've found quite a few treasures along the way. And one of those I have started to put into a blanket. Now, those of you that follow me over across at Instagram at Coco's Crochet __, you will already know what I'm talking about. But of course, I will talk to you about that after we get through all the little amigurumis. I had a great catch up with a yarny friend of ours this week and I cannot wait to share that with you. And then at the end, we'll touch on some life as always. Now, the very first thing that I want to show you is another gnome in the collection from the Crochet Code. I discovered via Etsy, because she was having a sale, I hadn't seen these before, that she has a snowman gnome and a gingerbread man gnome. So I made the gingerbread. So now I have number 3 and I still have the snowman to make. I absolutely love making these guys. I love their big bulbous noses. And look at the sprinkles on his hat. Now, I love gingerbread, by the way, and I love making gingerbread cookies for Christmas, and I try to sprinkle them throughout my year because I do freeze them. Anyway, back to the crochet. So this guy is totally no-sew. I have said that before, and I will repeat it to you again because in the past, many, many years ago when I first started making gnomes, which I think are super adorable, you generally had to sew some of the pieces on. But this guy is no-sew. You do make his arms, his beard and his nose first, and then you start with his body, crochet them in, and then you make the hat and connect it like single crochet it on. So he is so super soft, and I will tell you what I used to make him because, you know, if only you could feel him. Those of you that have Elise Velluto yarn in your stash, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I had a mixture of yarns for him. So the bulk of the yarn is this gingerbread color here. I don't know the name because Elise Velluto only has it on the website, but I use this one here. Now I had originally bought this because I thought it was a great like teddy bear color, but how wonderful did he turn out in this. And I also used my Aldi yarn in the white and the ivory for his beard and his bulbous nose. And then I had some of this red, which is just a middle end, which I'm guessing from feeling it that it is a Bernat blanket yarn. But truth be told, guys, I have never actually purchased a Bernat blanket yarn ball or anything because they're about $30 here in Australia, and they may have even gone up now because our dollar, as we all know, is pretty rubbish. But in mill ends, you do get a great variety of mill ends when you can find them. So that's what this little guy is made of. But the little sprinkles, I didn't want to use the thick blanket yarn, and I didn't want to use acrylic yarn this time. And I remembered I had this gorgeous Jolly and Joy velour yarn, which we were able to get here. I think it was last Christmas at Spotlight. Unfortunately, it's gone, but the colors are perfect. It's Christmas red and Christmas green. So that's what I used to put the little sprinkles on top. And I absolutely love him. I'm hoping to be able to get the little snowman done sooner than later. And I also used for him, and I do have my hook here somewhere. I don't want to lose this hook because I've already had to replace it once. My recliner swallowed it and I never saw it again. This is my 7mm hook that for all of my makes, including the blanket, I have been using this week. So it has been working very, very hard, let me tell you. So next we have from, again, the Crochet code because I did see the sale and I couldn't resist. It's Flora the Flower Turtle. Now I made 2 of the turtles and they are tiny, and that's what attracted me to them. I do have the flower turtles but in the larger size, but look how small this little one is. Now obviously this one is the sunflower turtle, and I also made one that is called the 6-petal turtle. And what the beauty about this is that you can use any color that you want. I keep thinking they're like gerbers, and I absolutely love gerbers, and I'd like to make them in all the bright colors as well, like a hot pink and an orange, and I've seen them in all the colors of the rainbow. So let me tell you what I used to make these little guys, because they are so adorable. Now I haven't bought the safety eyes that I've used on them up, but I have shown them to you before, and I have used it on all of the makes today. They're those 14mm little safety eyes, and they have like a colored, like it's already colored. There's no disc, it's all in one piece. And these were quite inexpensive on Amazon, and they've come in very handy for all of my little makes. So let me tell you, I used for the little sunflower turtle, again, Elise Velluto yarn, and this time it's like this other brown, which again I had purchased to make like bears and cows, but it was perfect for the sunflowers. The body for both of the turtles, I used the Aldi in the ivory color. And for this one here, again, I used some Millens in the yellow, which I thought was bright enough. I could have gone a little bit darker in the yellow, but I thought that that worked well for the little sunflower. Now, for the little turtle, as we said, the 6-petal turtle, it was very, very easy. Just pop these over here, to choose any colors. So I had whatever I had in front of me is what I used, and I just so happened to have my Aldi yarn in the ivory. This one's called Rose, and this one is called Lemon Sorbet. So these Aldi yarns have really like worked so well for me. I'm so happy that I did buy as many as I did, because sometimes you think, am I just buying just to have? And after, like I said, clearing out all my yarn out, I'm like, wow, sometimes I do go a bit overboard. I'm the first one to say that overconsumption is really my life, and I am doing something about it. So I highly recommend these little, the Flora the Flower Turtle pattern. It's a pattern set from the Crochet Code. The sale might still be going on, I'm not quite sure, but please check it out on Etsy. And once again, just a little 7mm hook. That little 7mm hook really has worked hard this week. Now next I have, he is so cute, wait till you see this guy. So this is Maximus. Oh my goodness, and he sits perfectly flat. Now he is one piece other than the back legs and the tail, so you need to crochet them in, and the way that you crochet them at that angle he just sits so perfectly. Let me try to get him on the palm of my hand. Now, of course, on my hand, you can tell that he's perfectly flat, but on the table, he looks even cuter. Now, again, the eyes that I use are from that set, and I did use the Elise Velluto for his ears and his tail, so he's even softer. And his little nose, I had to embroider his little nose on. Like, generally when you see a dog, you pat it on the head, or you know, I don't know what it is. I think the Elise Velluto just added a little something extra to this, because I did use for the body the ivory. Once again, I had a big basket of yarn next to me, the big purple basket that I crocheted a while ago, and whatever was in there I was pretty much using. So Maximus is by Chastity Ann Designs on Etsy, and once again she had a very big sale, and it is still happening, the sale, I do believe. As I showed you, I used my Aldi yarn and the Elise Velluto yarn, and of course my 7mm hook, and he was such a joy to make. I could not wait to share him with the children, and they think that Maximus is super adorable as well. So next we have a blanket that I've started thanks to me cleaning up my, starting to clean up my yarn room, because I did find stashed under my table that I use for scrapbooking at least, I would say 10, 20, 30, between 30 and 40 Ogos. Now those of you that have been here for a very long time will remember that I had a huge haul a couple of years ago, and I had paid $1.50 for these Ogos. Originally, they were $14 here in Australia. They did not last very long. Now, I know some of you are not fans, but I absolutely love this Ogo yarn. It is a thick 4-weight, maybe like a bulky yarn. My eyes watering, excuse me. But what I love about these is that all the colors, and there are 5 colors, just work so well together. I have used this yarn just as, you know, as it comes out of the little donut, and it's a striping effect. And I also, what I've done for the project that I've put it in now, I've actually separated all of the colors. And I do have a little, I think it's like a 2-minute little video on Instagram if you want to go and see, if you're not familiar with Ogos, how that works. And then I did use my yarn winder to make little cakes. But you don't need to do that either, so don't think you need that, because this yarn, when you separate it or even when you start, you have a choice of either starting as a center pull or from the outside. So whatever works best for you, you can use it that way. I'm a center pull person generally, so I really enjoy working with this yarn. And this color is from memory Tabby, this colorway. And I love browns, and the project that I'm putting it in is the log cabin blanket, and the tutorial is here on YouTube by our friend Jill at Gumleaf Crochet, and it is the best tutorial I've come across. I'm not just saying that because Jill and I are friends, and I'm going to link it down in the description box. Now, I was terrified of making a log cabin blanket until I saw Jill's tutorial. So let me show you how this is growing. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. And this is 2 Ogos in. So let me just show you what I have left of the 2 Ogos. I've tried to put them in order of the 5 colors. So as you can tell, because, you know, this was the center one, I have more of that. But as we go, of course, you know, you use more and more of each color. And as I have 10 Ogos in this colorway, I'm hoping that it'll be big enough, it'll grow enough to be like a nice lap size blanket. But this is where you start in the center, and then you go around and around and around, creating your logs as you go. And I'm very proud to say that I have been sewing in my ends as I go, except for the last color because that was late last night. So I am going to sew those in, and it just looks so good. Now, Jill has some great tips and tricks along the way to make sure that you don't flip it the wrong way. And I have to say that I have followed exactly what she has said because I don't want to make a mistake. Now, this Ogo yarn I have found in the past, you know, because I've been using it for various projects, that when you wash it, like now it feels soft, but it's a little bit stiff. But when you wash it, it comes up so beautifully. So if you have any Ogos in your stash from years ago, or if you happen to be in a country where you can still purchase them, I absolutely love them. So I highly recommend that you get your hands on at least one and see what your thoughts are. Now, basically, they're all my makes. Again, I did use the Ogo yarn and the 7mm hook for this because it is a thicker yarn, as I said. Maybe if I show it to you up close, you'll be able to see. It's between a 4-weight and a 5-weight, or maybe it is considered a bulky 5-weight yarn. Anyway, that's my Ogo project, and I'm so happy that I'm putting some of the yarn that has been living here for a couple of years into a project. And this is the perfect weather for it here, because in Sydney, Australia, it is very cold. As you can see from my attire, I'm trying to keep as warm as I can. Now, when I purchased the patterns on Etsy from the 2 designers that I mentioned tonight, I also bought the new elephant pattern from Chastity Ann Designs, and I cannot wait to make that little one. She has a sale on, I think I bought it for like $2, which was amazing. And I also bought Buddy and Friends. Now, I have a lot of the patterns from Chastity Ann Designs, and this one, so Buddy and Friends, I think it's based on the movie Elf, and I'm really excited to make those. Maybe not for Christmas in July, but definitely before the end of the year. That would be wonderful. And then from the Crochet Code, this little size turtle, there's one called Dot or Tot the fruit turtles. So I have the big fruit turtle patterns, and they're the little baby version. I think these would be great if you're, you know, into market makes, because you could make them quite quickly and of course sell them at a very reasonable price. $15, $20, I'm sure that you'd be able to get for these. So there's some patterns that I'm hoping to make and bring to you, including our little gnome snowman in the very near future. I'd be so happy to make them. Now, let's touch on our visit with our very dear friend Tiana from Oh So Stitched. Yesterday, I was so lucky she came over and we just hung out for a couple of hours and she bought me some beautiful gifts. Now, I'm very lucky because Tiana, if you don't already follow her, please go and do so. She has a crochet channel and a knitting channel. So if you're by Stitchel or you like, to dabble in both of the crafts, she's the girl for you, because let me tell you, she is a brilliant knitter. And what you see and what I'm going to show you are all knitted. Now this knitted beanie, oh my gosh, it's so soft and beautiful. I know that it's double-stranded. I'm not going to wear this one because I don't want to take this one off. It is so soft and beautiful. But of course she did it in purple. She knows me very, very well. Thank you, my friend. Now this one fits me perfectly. And it is so super warm and I love the colors in it. Now, this one, I'm not sure what it's made of, but from memory, Tiana talks about it because she did donate over 30 beanies for our Crocheting for the Community drive this year. She does double strand her acrylic yarns because she's trying to de-stash. Aren't we all? Now, this set, and I will take off, oh my gosh, this scarf is amazing. I know that because Tiana told me she used her Feels Like Bliss, and this is the color Dusk, I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh, guys, I have this in my stash. I didn't buy too much. In actual fact, Steve bought it for me for Valentine's Day this year. But I have such difficulty crocheting with it. I've only tried one thing, which was a little toy, which I showed you. I think it was a little chicken. But I want to crochet a blanket. I just wish I had the skill that Tiana has, to knit first of all, but to just be able to use it. Now, this beanie, of course, as you can see, is knitted. And it feels like bliss, guys. But this little scarf, oh my gosh, it is the perfect size. They are definitely on trend right now. And look at it. Look at the shape. It's the perfect shape. Oh, how can I show you? Oh my gosh, look at her. Tiana's work is beautiful. She is a very neat crocheter and a very neat knitter. Now, this is perfect. My neck is now going to start feeling cold. This is perfect if you just want something light, something that you can put under a jacket, something that you can just have in your bag because it's very compact in case you need to bring it out. And I certainly will be getting great use out of it, especially at work. Which brings me to, we're at the end of the school holidays, guys. I cannot believe that. So Tiana, it was amazing catching up with you as always. Thank you so very much for taking the time to drive out to my home from your home. And I cannot wait for the next school holidays when we get an opportunity to catch up again. And as I said, guys, if you're not already hanging out with Tiana, what are you waiting for? She is an amazing human and an amazing, amazing crocheter and knitter. I highly recommend you go and say hello. Now, last but not least, and I can't show you this, I'm very excited because our friend Lauren at Crochet Cats and Coffee put out for a pattern test call, and I was very lucky that she has asked me and we have started the pattern. I cannot wait to share this pattern with you. It is super adorable. Now, if you already hang out with Lauren, which if you don't, go and say hello, of course, she's amazing as well. She has touched on what the pattern is, so you'll be able to see it there. But I think we have about 2 weeks to complete it before I can actually show you this little guy, and I am having so much fun crocheting him, and I cannot wait to see what the other pattern testers have to say and do. If you've never done a pattern test before for anyone, it is a lot of fun. You get to meet other crocheters, especially, if you're doing a crochet one. And also it's just nice to, be in a group with people that aren't just talking, at you via YouTube or through Instagram or something. It's just a little bit, you get to see someone behind the scenes. I have fluffs from this beautiful yarn. So that's it. That's been my week in a nutshell. This weekend is going to be a lot of fun because it is my daughter's birthday weekend. We're having a little birthday dinner here for her, of course, with all of our children and their partners. My daughter just wanted a family dinner, didn't want to go out, just wanted to hang out with us here because you know what, it's nice and quiet here. We'll get her favorite restaurant delivery here, the food. My mummy's going to hang out with her and her girlfriend and myself for brunch on Saturday morning. And she's going to buy her birthday cake, which is great. And Friday, which is tomorrow, I'm going to take my mum to the eye clinic because she needs to get her macular degeneration assessment because she's had her first course of 3 needles, and now they need to see how often she needs to come. They were done monthly. So now there's a possibility, because they caught it so early, that she only needs to go every 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, or every month still, or weeks in between. We'll see what they tell us tomorrow. So fingers and toes crossed, all goes well and we get good news. Because although, you know, she's 85 and she feels that her life is very busy, which it is in a way, to have time to go for these needles. But I said, Mum, you have no choice. So, you know, she's accepted it now. So that's pretty much all I have to do before I go back to work on Monday for another 10 weeks, another 10-week term. And as we all know, the countdown will begin again. But it has been a great holiday. I've had an opportunity to catch up with friends, family, get started on this project that's going to take a lot more months, guys. If I have this done by the end of the year, that'd be great. I have heard back from the local market that's happening in September that I'm at the next level, which is great, because I'm hoping to get in. And if I'm as successful at that market as I was last year, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll try to remember to link it in the description box. I want to use whatever profits I make for that to buy some furniture for in here, because even though it's full of furniture, nothing really matches, and I really can't visualize how I want it in here as yet, because there is still a lot of stuff in here. But anyway, that's a little dilemma that is definitely a first world problem. So I'm not going to keep harping on that. I'm just going to keep working in here until I get it looking beautiful again and make it my place where I feel very relaxed. So on that note, I hope you're all keeping well. And until I see you all very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.